So on my Red Ranger build, I got a couple of comments saying, hey, you should make a Warlock Red Ranger. And you know what? That's not a bad idea. So I went over to YouTube and I did a poll. Did you guys want me to make a Warlock Red Ranger build or a Hunter Red Ranger build first? And honestly, it's kind of weird that Warlock won because there's a lot more Hunters out there. But anyway, before we get started, do you see these analytics? YouTubers show these all the time to get you to subscribe. I don't need that. I will break your freaking knees if you don't hit that subscribe button. So you'll actually be pretty surprised at what I'm using to build this Red Ranger build. I don't have a lot of armor pieces on my Warlock or my Hunter because I am a Titan main, and honestly the only armor that these classes get are the seasonal armor pieces and the seasonal ornaments because again I don't really play on them. I just claim the pieces of armor at the end of the season. So I ended up using a bunch of blues, and honestly it turned out pretty freaking good. Like, you're still getting some Red Ranger vibes in here, and I'm honestly digging it. I like it a lot actually, and I'm pretty proud of it. The Prophet Snow is the helmet that I decided to use. Honestly, whenever transmog comes around, I might transmog this helmet. This helmet is freaking dope. It's got like straps and shit everywhere. It looks cool. For the shader, I'm using Crucible Prestige on it, and yeah, it gave me the whole red kind of helmet and it gave me a black visor. I'm not too happy with the blue that's going on here, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. For the arms, I decided to go with Attunement Tau. I hope I'm saying that right. I put on Gift of the Nine, that way we get some nice clean gloves here. As you can see here in the picture them popping up, the Red Ranger does have white gloves and white boots. We'll take a look at the boots here in a second. I'm going to move on to Chiron's Cure, and this is the robes that I have on. So the reason I chose these is because they gave me a good little bit of white accent pieces here like the Red Ranger has, and this kind of shape right here, while I wish it was white and I wish I could dye it white, no shader really did what I wanted to except for Noble Constant Red. So yes, I'm sad that this isn't white, but it kind of gives me a like 80s 90s feel to like a superhero costume, which is what the Power Rangers are. And honestly, it's not bad, and it's a pretty good little set of robes. For the legs, I decided to use the Farseeker's March, and the reason I chose these were I did have two choices, and I'll show you here in a second. I ended up choosing these because it gave me the red pants and a little bit of white on the boots, which if you can see on the Red Ranger picture here, he does have white boots on. There wasn't a lot of boots that were giving me a good amount of like separation between boots and pants here, and honestly these were the only ones that really gave me that separation, and there is a little bit of white here, so I'm not completely mad. But we got close, and again, beggars can't be choosers. I don't have a lot of armor pieces on my Warlock, so I decided to use the Thuros modular shader on this, and I'm actually going to quickly show you an alternative since we were on the topic. I put on the Holdfast boots at first because yes, it still gave me that like red kind of superhero pant vibe, but the boots also were red and it wasn't really giving me too much white. I got some white here on the knee pads with the Thuros modular shine shader, but I didn't feel like it was doing it for me. Like, I feel like if you're gonna go like full on 80s or 90s Power Ranger, you have to have that like classic boots and just pants look, no like armor pieces or anything like that. For the bond, this one isn't too hard. Warlock bonds are all kind of samey, so if you're a Warlock main, you'll pretty much find something that'll work for you. I just chose this Cinder Pinion bond. Pinion, is that how you say that? Just because it was out of the way, it's simple, and with Thuros modular shine, it was just a plain white bond. It gave me some white accent pieces, which again the Red Ranger has, and it turned out looking pretty good. Okay, so now let's quickly go over some alternatives. Now, the good thing about Warlocks is a lot of their fashion is just the robes and the helmet. So as far as gloves go, I mean, you can basically put on any pair of gloves, throw on a good red and white shader on there, and then hey, look, call it a day. There you go, Power Ranger. Same thing with the bond, like I was talking about. You can basically use anything. The boots, I found that I was a little bit more limited on, so if you don't have the Holdfast boots, I mean, how hard is it going to be for you to just go into collections, go into your armor, and then go into leveling, and then of course pick whatever blue gear I mentioned? Not a hard thing to do. So if you want to look like a Red Ranger, I mean, it's not that hard. So I feel like I don't really need to go too much into alternatives. I will go over some alternatives for the helmet though. One alternative I found was this Wild Hunt hood. It still gives you a nice big visor, and it still gives you a good like red helmet there. That one I felt like was a little bit weaker than the blue helmet. For sure, but another alternative if you wanted a bigger visor would be this 7 Seraph hood. It gives you, like I said, a big like helmet area, and if you wanted a bigger visor to look a little bit more alien-like, maybe like the most current Power Rangers that came out in what, like 2017, then you can try using this helmet instead. Another helmet alternative, and I'll see if I can find the picture again. There is a set of Power Rangers, which I think were the dinosaur ones, that had like this like pointy like crown look to their helmets, and honestly this is a really close picture. I hope I can find the picture, and I'll pop it up if I do, and you'll see the resemblance right away. And of course, if you want to use legendary gear instead of my boring blue gear, which you probably won't have too much levels with, you can use the Valkyrian hood and you'll be a lot happier with that. But all you have to do is wait a season and you'll get transmogged. So I mean, you can just transmog the blue gear all you want. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little build of mine. I tried my best with the armor that I had, and you know what? It's fantastic because anybody can create this build. Everybody has this blue armor, and whenever transmog comes around, you too can make this. You have this armor in your inventory waiting to be used, and that helmet, oh, that helmet is so good. So yeah, make sure you tell me how you like it. Warlocks, give me your opinions, and maybe show me your own Warlock Red Ranger builds. My Discord is open for you to show me that anytime. Hunters, you guys get to have an opinion when you win Guardian games. I'm kidding, put down your pitchforks, it's okay. But yeah, you guys, I have your build already done, and it will be coming up very soon. But I think I have to do another fashion gun build in between. That way we break it up a little bit. So yeah, if you guys really want to see that, don't forget to subscribe, or else. If you're new here, feel free to check out the Titan Red Ranger build I did a couple of days ago. And as always, if you guys like the music that you're hearing in the background, don't forget that I have a Destiny 2 lo-fi playlist waiting for you in the first link down below. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, stay beautiful.